Let's see if we can call this case. It's case 22 JV 30091. It's people from the state of Colorado and concerning Angel Washington and Frank Brown. I've also got a John Doe. Mr. Hughes is the county attorney. He's here in court. Mr. Harper Brown is on the call. Ms. Washington is on the call. Mr. Talbot's here in court. Represents Mr. Brown. Mr. Talbot, we've never seen Mr. Brown. Is that right?
Your Honor, I've never had any luck getting a hold of Mr. Brown. When I knew where he was at DOC, we sent in multiple letters and never got any response.
Mrs. Amarip is counsel for the youth. Both youth are here. I see Ms. Gravel, Ms. Milosevic are both here from the department. Casas here. The matter was on to address a hearing to terminate parental rights. Mr. Harbrown, I know you got stuck over in the municipal court. How are you and Ms. Washington wanting to deal with your portion of this case?
Your Honor, Ms. Washington is objecting to her rights being terminated. She does, essentially what we'd be asking for is like a no fault termination. I think her
Ms. Washington,
Judge, yes,
I could
that's my client's position.
Sure. And Ms. Washington, I could certainly proceed in that fashion if that's what you want to do today. There are a handful. Sure. I recall that. And I can certainly let you do that. But there are a handful of questions I have to ask you first. It probably won't take more than 5 minutes to get through it, but if you answer the questions, I'll do exactly what you want me to do. Okay. I know this case has been going on for a long time, and I know that you do care dearly for your children. I know that they're in a real good placement right now. And I think if this is the decision you want to make, it's a courageous decision, and I think you should be commended for making this decision. It certainly makes it clear to the court that you understand your children's best interest and their immediate needs. If you can confess this matter, just to get to the heart of that, it means that all of your rights and responsibilities related to your children would be terminated forever. Now, if there were an agreement between the parties for you to see them at some point in the future, that's fine. But absent that agreement, you wouldn't even be allowed to see them or even write letters to them unless their adoptive parents allow that to happen. Do you understand that? I understand. So let me ask you, has anybody made any other promises or guarantees to you about what would happen other than your parental rights would be terminated? Mr. Harbrown, is there any further record you would want to make today?
Judge, I don't think so. Thank you.
Ms. Washington, did you have a chance to talk with your lawyer, Mr. Harbrown, about the rights that you have, including your right to have a formal termination of parental rights hearing? And are you satisfied with the advice your attorney gave you at this point in time? Is there anything else you would like your lawyer to do for you right now? I understand it's a very difficult decision. There's a couple of questions I still have to ask. Have you had any alcohol, drugs, medication, or do you have any health or mental health concerns, or is there anything else that's impacting your ability to understand what's happening here today? Do you think you do understand what's happening here today? If you confess this motion for termination of parental rights, it's a final decision. That means you can't come back and change your mind later. Once you do this confession, it's done forever. Do you understand that? And by confessing this motion for termination of parental rights, it means you're agreeing to waive your right to have a formal termination of parental rights hearing. And that includes all the rights and protections that go along with the formal parental rights, termination of parental rights hearing. Do you understand that? If you do confess this motion for termination of parental rights, it has to be your choice, done knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily, and not the result of any undue influence, pressure, coercion, or force by anyone. Is anybody else pressuring you or forcing you to do this? So after hearing and understanding all I've said, understanding the rights you have and the rights you're giving up, understanding the purposes of a formal termination of parental rights hearing, do you still want to confess the motion for termination of parental rights? I'm going to find that you've made this decision knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily based on the answers to the questions I've asked. You're waiving your right to a formal termination of parental rights hearing, and you're confessing this motion. I'm going to find that termination of parental rights between the respondent parent and the children, in this case, is in fact in the best interest of the children and the community. Ms. Zamarripa, is there anything else? Obviously, I'm going to ask the people to prepare a formal written order to supplement this as well. Are there any other findings that the county wants me to make?
I have no other requests for additional findings, Your Honor. No.
I don't think so.
Ms. Zamarripa, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Judge, I do know that the boys want to be able to have contact with their siblings. I have advised them, I don't think the court has jurisdiction to order that, but they have voiced wanting to have a continued contact with their siblings.
You know, this case has been going on for such a long time, and I know it's hard that everything that's happened under the circumstances, it appears to the court that Ms. Washington is doing the right thing. I think her children will always know that she did the right thing, and I hope she will always remember that it appears she did the right thing. I hope that life works out better for her. I know this has been a long, long ride. This case has been open a little over 3 years. Ms. Washington, is there anything else you want me to do then other than terminate the parental rights? Okay. We will make sure they know that. All right, with that, then that would close this limited portion of the case. There is still the issue with regards to Mr. Brown. It seems like the people probably, since we don't have him here, it seems like you're going to have to put on some brief testimony.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's fine.
And in your motion for termination of parental rights, you did not include the claim of abandonment.
I noticed that, Judge, that was filed way back where I was going to let it, that's not. The solutions all have
Do you want to, it seems like we've never had any contact with Mr. Brown. If Mr. Talbot's not going to contest it, you could make an oral motion and just include abandonment and proceed from there. I don't know if you have any objections to that.
I don't think I have any basis to object to that.
That's what we can.
So what I would do then is let you amend the motion for termination of parental rights to include the paragraphs of abandonment. And then I'll let you put on some testimony just with regards to that. Again, that just involves Mr. Brown and nobody else. All right. You're okay with that, Ms. Emmerich? All right. Mr. Hughes, which witness would you call? Mr. Bell, I'll have you come on up. Have you raised your right hand? Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury the testimony you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Let's see. Mr. Hughes, are you going to ask Ms. Gravel to testify as an expert?
Yes, Judge, and please work.
Should there be any objections to that from respondent parent counsel?
The only reason I would object is the TPR and I don't feel comfortable.
Okay, I'll let you lay the full appropriate foundation.
Okay. Could you please state your name and spell your first and last name, please?
Kristen Gravel, first name Kristen. Gravel, Gravelle.
And how are you employed?
I work with Public County Department of Human Services,
And how long have you worked there?
almost 2 years.
And what's your job title, job description?
I am a senior adolescent ongoing worker.
Okay. What type of education prior to getting the job in the department? What's your education? Where'd you go to school?
I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I also have a master's in military psychology through aftrr University.
Okay. And when you hired on with the department, do they have a standard training program that they make you go through? Oh, yeah.
Your name.